What's up, everybody? Beau-hindman here with another quick Hexa Gear video. I'm having to squeeze them all in a shot here. They're so big, I've had to move everything around on my little shooting desk here. Eventually, I'll get something else better set up. But this is what I bought. This represents my foray into Hexa Gear so far. This is the bulkarm-alpha, I believe. This is a governor, just a kind of a normal governor character, which is like the pilot person. This is the abyss crawler, which is like a spidery thing. This is the night governor, and the I forget what this is called. The flight pack thingy. It's like a creature of its own. I covered that in a video, and then this is the latest one I have built. So let me pick this up, and I'm going to go over that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break after looking at all of these, and then I'm going to actually use this expansion kind of pack. What it is it basically gives you all the parts you need to kind of. It helps you combine a lot of these stuff. So it's a bit of a different thing than like a Gunpla or other model kit. So I'm going to go over those differences here in a little bit. Really what I want to talk about, though, this is the bulkarm-alpha. I was really impressed by the look of it. It's got these hovercraft feet, which are just absolutely ridiculous. This is the bulkarm Lumberjack, which is the same kit basically, but it just has a little bit, it has this big sword. It has some other little difference, but not many at all, not many differences at all. There is a difference here you can see in their little, like this area here, that one has an expansion dot hole thingy, this one does not. So there's little design differences, but essentially it's the same kit. I could swap all this stuff, and combine them, probably no problem. That's what I'm looking forward to do. I'll go ahead and link my review for this one and for the Abyss Crawler here, as well as for the Governors down in the description if you want to watch those. But for today, I'm just really talking about this one, which is the Lumberjack. The Lumberjack is the same as the Alpha. It just seems a bit different with the weapons, and I guess the idea is, as you can see on the box, is that it chops stuff up. Hell, I don't know. I really do kind of prefer this cover compared to the Alpha here. The Alpha looks really pretty basic, and that hole is so... It just is so in the middle of everything. I almost really don't like that. I'll probably plug that with one of the little expansion parts. But if you saw my review for the Alpha, you know what I thought about this. It's these ridiculous giant feet that are literally hovercrafts that you can pull off, and then you put a person on the hovercraft, which is just the silliest idea. But it actually kind of, makes sense in the way that, they're kind of, you see a lot of like these mech cartoons and stuff like that. Let's say, for example, in Scope Dog, they actually roll around on wheels like skates, like those tweens used to do on their skate shoes, they had little wheels in them. In Gunpla and Gundam stuff, they just kind of shoot around on the ground with air, I guess, underneath their feet. It's kind of funny. In my opinion, they're probably doing that just to kind of save on animation. Maybe helps make it a little faster. I don't know. So these guys that have actual hovercraft feet is just hilarious, but also kind of... I think kind of a clever solution to the problem. It does make them have this huge wide stance and this really bottom heavy kind of look, but I love that. It's just a big silly toy. I just love how goofy that is, and I love the fact that I could have one or two of these and actually take the hovercraft off, put a governor or a pilot on the hovercraft, and then he could fall around below, hanging out near his little mech suit there, whatever. So just a really, really funny, I'm dropping parts left and right here. Just a really funny design that actually really, really works for this huge mech thing that in reality, it's not really that big. The main gimmick of it is that you have this opening thing here where the pilot sits. Let me see if I can get past the ginormous blade thingy. So he sits in there. Let's actually see if we can get one in there. And then I'm going to pause, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to try. I'm going to take his shield off. I'm going to try to show my attempt at combining them all together. So I guess he's just going to kind of sit in here like this. Let's take a gander. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. All these ridiculous parts. The governors are great. I actually absolutely love the governors. I was having a discussion with somebody in the Facebook group, and I said, they're just so expensive. But the amount of detailed plastic you get, or the kind of amount, it's so detailed. It's pretty darn nice. I would, you have to kind of have the governors. We're kind of the pilots of everything. Let's see, but this is just going to be it. Let's just say that fits. Let's just say that gets in there. So he's in there. I will have to mess with it and get in there to close it a little bit more. they're just, the problem with the governors is that for the price, they're just not, I'm just kind of surprised, like the fists pop out so easily. So I have my complaints about that. But with these guys, let me get all the parts out of there. With these guys, I thought about how to kind of illustrate the difference, because a lot of people I know, build like gunpla kits and stuff like that, and say, well, gunpla kits are great, and I agree with them because they're so inexpensive, and these are so expensive. But I want to put it this way: gunpla kits are fantastic model kits of cartoon robots that you might buy your favorite suit or whatever and want to build it. That can also be toys, but they're secondarily toys. They're first model kits. They're not very sturdy. These guys, I think, are more like toys, a modular toy system that can also be model kits, meaning that you can also paint these in details like any other plastic kit, but they feel a bit more sturdy. The plastic's a little bit thicker. The joints seem to stay a little bit stiffer for longer. A lot of gunpla kits, as soon as I put them on the shelf, within a very, very little handling time or whatever, they start to loosen up quite a bit. Some are better than others, of course, but for the price of one of these lumberjacks or one of these bulk arms, I could get two really pretty good size, or really detailed kits. I'd say these are more along like the Scope Dog price line, where they're in the 60s and 50s and 60s and 70s for them. But what you get, if you get, like I've now got three suits and two governors or whatever, is I've got a big opportunity to kind of mix and match. So worth it to me, I'd say absolutely, because $50 is not expensive to me like it was when I was a kid, maybe. So absolutely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause here, though. I'm going to see how I can combine these, if I can combine them all using this expansion pack, and come back and show you what I've created. So see you in just a minute. Okay, everybody, back the next day. As promised, I went and combined a bunch of the, three. I used three of the kits, the kits into this thing. And I was just messing around with it. I went in there, it was a little later in the night after I recorded the first part. So I was like, I'll just play around with them, and I took the two bulk arms and the abyss crawler, which is the spider-like one, and I just combined them together and just had fun with it, just played around. Nothing really had any problems. Everything seemed to fit together really well, and honestly, I didn't mess with it that much. I just sat around for over an hour and just poked around and, just had some fun with it. So this is a good example of how the kits can combine together. I used a few parts from the expansion pack thing. Oh, excuse my tummy. From the expansion pack thing, like the little additional parts to help kind of stick some stuff together. This gun here in the front, it looks kind of like a machine gun. That's just one of the parts, which is really just kind of a clever little idea. I actually pulled out, you can't quite see, but on the bottom of these shelves down here, I have extra parts over here. I have extra parts. I keep all my extra parts on this lower section of my shelves and stuff. And they're full of guns. I have them broken down into different kinds of weapons. And then I have actually fists and heads and everything you need for building. Mostly those are mostly for Gundam. But I broke out the Gundam stuff, weapons and everything. And there's some really cool stuff that would go along with this just fine. But I thought, no, let's just keep it only using these, specific parts made for Hexa Gear. Actually, I just noticed this. I could have put something back here. See all these little pegs? You get just a million little pegs everywhere. So I could have just kept adding and just kept messing around with it. The disadvantages, of course, is the difference in color. It's not super glaring other than the blue. But you could, of course, paint this really easy. And this is just an example of just playing around for an hour, what you can make. Really, really, really cool and fun. After messing with these now, after owning two bulk arm kits, the abyss crawler, which is the spider-like one, owning a couple governors, as well as the hawk kind of like flight pack thing. And I'll put all the reviews for these previous kits in the description. After owning all of that, it's like do I think that I would want to continue to buy these? And the answer is absolutely. Excuse me. I enjoy Gunpla kits, as you can see behind the, right on top of my dog there. It's snowing outside, so she's being nice and warm. There's my backlog of Gundam and Gunpla kits. I enjoy Gunpla kits a lot, but these, when I'm assembling these, they go a little bit faster. Like I said, they're a bit more toy-like. They're a bit more sturdy, I think, overall. They seem like they could take a drop. I still don't want to drop them. I actually did break one part on one of the feet for the bulk arm, one of the foots, however you'd say it, for the bulk arm, down on the little peg down there. But it's one of 4 pegs, so it's still holding together fine. That was me being, I was trying to force something and it just wouldn't work, and that was me being stupid. But just other than that, it seems like the Hexagear stuff is a bit sturdier, is a bit higher end plastics. So I'll definitely continue to buy these. They are more expensive, of course. Everybody knows that. But you get what you pay for, just like with the Gunpla kit. If you spent $100, let's say, or $80 on a nice Gunpla kit, you're going to get a nicer, more detailed kit. That's where Gunpla seems to go, is they seem to go more in the detail department, little gimmicks and stuff like that. While this line Hexagear seems to go a bit, it's very detailed, don't get me wrong, but also they tend to go in more and just like sheer poundage of plastic or something. It's just a little bit more toy-like, a little sturdier. And you still get the inner frame stuff. You still get the armor. For me, so far, the Hexagear is just a bit more realistic, if that's even a good way to put it. Whereas Gunpla is more of an inexpensive way to own, stuff that you've seen in a cartoon, in an anime, if that makes sense. So both of them are very, very cool. I'd say overall value, Gunpla is a little bit better because you can get so much for so cheap, especially when they're on sale. These guys don't go on that big of sale that I've seen so far, a little bit here and there, but not much. But I just kind of prefer this style of a kit where it's almost more permanent. Gunplas are very fragile. Once I put them on my shelf, I get very worried that they're going to drop and I'm going to break them and stuff like that, and it happens all the time. So you can't really manipulate a Gunpla for too long. It starts to kind of get really, really loose. These guys seem to stay a little sturdier. As a point of fun, I thought it'd be funny to show a couple of little mechs again. This is the one I put the other day. I put up. My friend gave me her toys from Avatar, and I've got the little girl from I think that's Ready Player One in there just for fun. But that's the Avatar mech, and then here I thought would be kind of cool. This is the Vermin Slasher. I couldn't think of it. That's the Vermin Slasher. So these are from a company called Rihio, however you say it. I've reviewed these too. I'll put the links in there, or just look through my past. So these are even sturdier kind of plastic than these. These are almost more of a rubberized plastic, not rubbery, but a bit more. It's hard to explain, but so these are probably the sturdiest of all. So, and then of course you have just a toy. The problem that is with a regular toy is they might be, you can play with them and manipulate them all you want, but if the part breaks on that, you're kind of screwed. A part, breaks on this, you have replacements, really, just a ton of them. So it's really no loss. So I'm really enjoying the Rihio guys. I've got more of those coming in the mail from eBay. They come all the way from China. It's a Chinese company. And I'm really, really, really liking Hexagear. I didn't think I would that much, to be honest, but when I saw the kits, I was like, those are so ridiculous and so big and in bulk, quote unquote. The name fits, that I was like, I've got to have some of these. So I just, like I said, I just played around with this for maybe 30 minutes or an hour and just threw some stuff together. I used both their legs to make one leg. Threw some spider stuff in there, and I think it was just super fun, really, really cool. I will probably disassemble this and put it back to its original configuration, though, honestly, because while I really like this, I kind of prefer the look of the bulky feet and all that. It's very unique. I really enjoy that. I like stuff that's kind of sticks out from the crowd, and those definitely do. The bulk arms definitely do. The spider, I'll probably, reform it. I don't really like its original how the instruction book kind of tells you how to do it. It's kind of funny looking. But anyway, so that's a good look at my bulk arm lumberjack. Fantastic kit. I like the blue. It's easy to gouge, but just get you a little marker, a little Sharpie marker, and when you gouge it, just rub marker on it and wipe it away, and you'll take care of any real bad gouge marks or scratches or whatever. Amazing little kit. I'm still going to buy some more. Keep an eye out on my channel. If you can, please subscribe because I'm trying to get to, I think, 2,500. I'm at 2355. I've got like 45 left or something like that. Also, comment with anything you want to see me check out, or if you know if there's anything that I haven't shown before, because I'm covering all sorts of toys. I typically do videos about twice a week. I'm trying to keep it up at twice a week. So take it easy, everybody. See you next time.